What's up, everyone? All right, so mission accomplished. Third green day in a row. Same as last week. Green Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Another $3,000 of profit today. So that feels good. Today's a day where I was actually up about 3,200 and gave back a little bit off the top. And remember what I always say, you're either giving back a little profit or you're leaving money on the table. And today's a day where I gave back a little bit off the top on ATAI. But, you know, green is good. I'm happy with that. Another green day. Progress is being made. And today, during the recap, we are going to talk about where I'm at on the month, where I'm at on the year, and where I'm at relative to the $583 to $1 million mark. I'm trying to keep it where it's not in my focus, but I did give you guys some updates during the recap. So, as usual, any questions, any comments, leave them below, and we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning, 9:15, for pre-market analysis. All right, see you guys in the morning. All right, everyone. So we're going to break down the trades from this morning. This is the third big green day of the week. I keep looking for my calendar. It's so, such a habit. But, of course, there's nothing on it. I still want to hold it. Even though there's nothing on it, I still want to hold it. Third green day of the week, which is great. Last week, I was green Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Had small red days on Thursday and Friday. But then back into green Monday, Tuesday, here on Wednesday. So that's good. Certainly happy with that. 6 green days this month. And I would love to finish up the week with 2 more green days on Thursday and Friday. Obviously the momentum needs to keep up. What is very interesting here in the last 2 days, yesterday and today, is that the momentum has been predominantly on lower priced stocks. So yesterday we had ATAI, which made this big move from $1.18 all the way up to $2.50. And then, this morning we got another opportunity on it. The trade that I took here was right through this move. You can see from $2.60 up to a high of $3.09. And I booked, $1,400 of profit on it, which is solid. I actually made about $1,800 and then gave back about $400 or $500 on my last, my second to last trade on it. But, in any case, green on ATAI, INPX this morning, top of the gap scanner, was gapping up 60% on over 1 million shares of volume with news, low price stock at $1.50. Got some good trades on this one, riding the momentum up to a high of $1.78. $1,400 on that one. So right there's $2,800 of profit. CCNI, I took 2 trades on it. The first trade I took, I lost on, and then the second trade I took, I also lost on. So, this one just, I don't know. It's lighter volume. My first trade, I got in up here thinking it was breaking over 580, which was yesterday's highs. And that was a good sign of strength. So I got in at, I think, 573. It hit a high of 591, but then dropped back down to 556, and I took a $60 loss on it. I then got back in right here because on the 5-minute chart, I saw that this was, if it broke over this level, I thought that looked good. So I got back in there, but immediately stopped out of that with a $400 loss. Or $420 loss. So down 487 on CCNI on 2 losses. All things considered, those are small losses, not a big deal. And then SFET, a small winner there of $700, buying this little pullback right here with 6,000 shares. We had a high of 75, and it popped up to 390. I jumped in at about 373, anticipating the break over 375, and was selling at 383, 385, 388, topped at 390, dropped down, and now it's consolidating and pulling back. This one actually did a really nice cup and handle formation. What we often see when stocks dip down quickly and then surge back up is they create this cup formation, this double top. And it's hard to buy a stock right here and expect it's just going to keep going higher. Usually what we need is a period of consolidation, and that's exactly what we got. And some of you guys jumped in this right here around 330, And so for you guys, you actually got like a full 60-cent move, which is awesome. I only really captured the top of the move, but hey, it was still enough to make $700, and that was at around 10:30 this morning. So at that point, I was already kind of slowing down, reducing my risk, and not wanting to be super aggressive. So now let's go back to INPX. This is the one that I traded right out of the gates. So on this one, as you can see, we've got the pre-market price action moving higher, and opening. The pre-market high was $1.46, and the stock opened at $1.43. So it opened 3 cents below the pre-market high. It's actually, I'm going to put this up on the level 2 just to keep an eye on. We know $1.78 is the high of day. So maybe a spot to watch. So anyways, the bell rings on this, and in the first 1 minute candle, you can see it pops here up to a high of $1.60. And on this one, I was pretty quick to jump in. I took my position right here. These are all scalp trades. In with 9,000 shares at 45, 46, and 47, selling half at 50, another half at 54, another quarter at 55, the rest at 49. Boom, that trade right there is $400 in the first 15 seconds of the market. So that's, a quarter of the way to my $2,000 daily goal. And then I got back in at 57. And 53, anticipating the break over the highs right here. Little 1 minute pullback. We hit a high of 68. I'm selling at 65, 65, and 63. That one I only took 6,000 shares because I thought it was a little riskier, but another $400 or $500 of profit. So ended up finishing there. I think I was up like $800. And then I have another trade right here in at 64, 6,000 shares. And that was right here. And then I stopped out as it dropped back down here and lost, about $500. So I went from up 900 to back up only 450. So that was my first loss. And then I got back in at 55, 55, 53 right here. And the move up to 62 was selling half at 60, 60, and 58. So a little scalp there, taking some profit. This is the CCNI trade, which, whatever, not really a big deal. ATAI, this one, I take my starter at 55, 55, 57, end up stopping out of it at 54 and 54 for like a $130 loss. So that was my very first trade on ATAI. I'll pull that one up real quick. That was when I was going for the break right here. The first attempt didn't work. So I had to get back in for a second try. Back to INPX, 9:42 a.m. Look at this one. So at 9:42, I jump back in it right here. As you can see, it's starting to open up. So I'm jumping back in and trying to ride the momentum as it's moving higher. I'm back in at 60 with 9,000 shares, selling half 62, 61. That's like a break-even trade. Back in at 63, 64, selling at 71. That's a little nicer. So a little more profit on that one. And then back in at 69, out at 74. So what you'll see is that stocks like this, it's the tricky thing is that you're only getting 5-8 cent winners. The winners are all really small because it's a cheap stock. I mean, to get a full 10-cent win is like getting an 8% move in the stock, and it just doesn't happen really easily. So lots of small winners add up, right? And the reason that my winners are bigger, of course, is because I am taking 9,000 shares. But there's no reason you can't. This has 36 million shares of volume today. ATAI has 18 million shares of volume today. SFET's got 3 million shares. But these are the ones that have a lot of volume, so you can easily get in and get out with 9,000 shares. Like, that's not an issue at all. So if you can prove you're profitable with 500 shares, then there's no reason you won't do well going up to 5,000, for instance. One of the things that beginner traders sometimes struggle with is they say, well, I'm only trading with 200 shares, or I'm only trading with 500 shares, so it's not worth it for me to sell when I'm only up 4 cents, because that's only like $20. And when you add the commission of $4 to buy and $4 to sell, you've only made $12, right? And the problem with that mentality is that then they start thinking, well, I got to hold these longer for the bigger move, and on some of these stocks, they're just going to get chopped out. And in a move like right here, where with 9,000 shares I book $400, they're saying, no, I'm not going to sell it, I'm going to hold, and then it ends up going down 15, 20, 30 cents. I really try to encourage students to focus on how much you're making before commissions. Because commissions, when you're trading with 200 and 500 shares, they're always going to be a disproportionate percentage of your gains. But if you can be profitable with 200 or 500 shares before commissions, then you're proving that your strategy works. And then all you need to do is slowly gain the confidence over the period of a few weeks, increasing 100 shares a week, until next thing you know, you're trading 1,500 shares and you're making $150, $200, $300 a day. If you really are like, well, I'm only ever going to trade with 500 shares, I'm never going to trade with more than that, well, then you probably wouldn't even trade a stock like this. Because the reality is, this stock went from $1.46 to $1.78. With 500 shares, total, that's only about $150 if you got the exact best entry and the exact best exit. So, to focus on this might not be worth it. A stock like SFET, for 500 shares there, from 330 to 390, that you can work with. That's 60 cents. That's $300. So there's a little bit more there, but I guess that'd be with 1,000 shares. But in any case, I think sort of the question is, what type of trader do you want to be? And if you want to be an aggressive scalp trader where you're getting in, you're getting your profit, you're getting back out, you're going to need to size up. And so what I encourage you guys to do is to look at all your metrics, your accuracy, your profit loss ratio before commissions. And then, add in commissions. And so for the first couple of months when you're trading with small size, if you're like, man, I'm actually breaking even, or I'm even losing money after commissions, that doesn't really matter in those first few months because you're still in training. It's still practice. Once you start sizing up and taking bigger positions, then commissions become a smaller and smaller percentage of your gains. So, and again, today's the day where my commissions will be, I'm sure, over $500 because of how much I traded, but with $3,000 of profit, I'm not going to really complain too much. It's just the cost of doing business, and for me, it's still worth it. It justifies itself. So another day here of some decent momentum. Interesting that it's mostly on these lower price names. These are ones that I don't love because I don't usually hit home runs on them. These aren't usually the type of stocks that I would have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 winners on. They're more, just kind of, grinding and a lot of commissions. So, hey, I'll take the profit. I'll take what I can get. But if I could choose, I would much prefer stocks like SFET to be the ones with momentum because they are more likely to make 20, 30, 40 cent breakouts. And with 9,000 shares, that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a breakout instead of like $400 per breakout. All right. So let's see. What was I going to look at? Oh yeah, I was going to take a quick look at profitability on the month. I haven't been looking too closely at it because I haven't been wanting to be super worried about where I stand. But we'll just take a quick look here and see where we're at. So right now it's April 10th, and it looks like I'm up just about $20,000 on the month, which is good. That's something that I can feel pretty good about. It's a nice. That's a nice little start to the month. And since the bottom of my red streak, it looks like I'm up about $23,000. So, digging my way out one day at a time. Green is good. I'm not going to look at where I'm at relative to the $1 million challenge because that's not really important to me right now. What's important is just coming in here each day and having green days. Any day where I break the daily goal is a good day. My daily average, let me get that for you. So let's see. So March 29th was the 59th day of the year. So 59, 60, 61, 65, 66, 67. So today is the 67th day of the year, and I am averaging right now let's see, $1,959 per day, which is a little less than I averaged last year. Last year I was averaging $2,058 per day. So, I had a great average of like 3,000 a day. Actually, it was even higher than that. But obviously that red streak really brought down my average quite a bit. So $2,000 is still the daily goal. $2,000 was the daily average for all of the 236 days in 2018, which is why I finished with $500,000 in profit. And I guess right now I'm sitting at about 131,000 on the year. So, and I guess since I'm looking at it, I'm at $966,000 in the $1 million challenge, which puts me $33,000 away from the goal. So, whatever. Again, I don't really want to dwell on that too much. It's not really the biggest deal right now. The most important thing is that I'm just continuing to have good, solid green days, making progress. And, as long as I keep doing that, this is going to be a great month. Being up $20,000, on April 10th, we still have, well, let's see, this is 2, 4, 6. This is the 8th day of the month, and we still have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 days left. And that's keeping in mind that the market's closed on Good Friday, the 19th. So, 13 days left. If I can keep up the average, this will be a good month. I've just got to make sure that if I have red days, that those red days are small, that I don't have days where I end up giving back, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, because that's going to eat up, 3 totally decent days like today. So trying to follow the rules, stay focused, and ultimately that'll get me to where I need to be. All right, so that's it for me, and I'll see you guys all first thing tomorrow morning, 9:15, for pre-market analysis. All right, enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys all first thing tomorrow morning. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.